ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Looks like everybody is busy in arrangement for Rath Yatra. I continue with the book, with questions and the answers. Last chapter. Barbara. And chanting, what does chanting do, Srila Prabhupada? What that you can ask these boys, the devotees, they will explain. Bob, if Krishna controls everything, how does Krishna control a non-devotee? Srila Prabhupada, by Maya. Just as the government controls everything, a king is controlled by the king's departments. A kingdom is controlled by the king's departments. Bob. And how does Krishna control a devotee? Srila Prabhupada. Just as you control your beloved. For example, if you have a beloved child, you control him for his benefit. If you have a beloved child, you control him for his benefit. If he is going to touch fire, you will immediately tell him, no, no, my dear child, don't touch it. So a Krishna conscious person, a devotee, is never misled because Krishna is always guiding him. Whereas those who are not Krishna conscious are in the charge of Maya. And Maya will do the needful as you have seen. So here, Bob and Barbara, both of them are asking some wonderful questions to Srila Prabhupada. Right? So those who are devotees, how are they controlled? And those who are non-devotees, how are they controlled? So those who are not in Krishna consciousness, they are controlled by the external energy of Maya, that is external energy of Krishna, that is Maya. Just like government is impersonal, right? The laws are established by the government. So those laws, in other words, the government controls everything in the state, right? A kingdom is controlled by the king's departments. So similarly, all those who are not in Krishna consciousness, they are all controlled by the departments of Krishna, the government of Krishna, right? And then they ask how a devotee is controlled. A devotee is in whose control? A person who is Krishna conscious or who is in Krishna consciousness. How is he controlled? He is controlled directly by Krishna, right? Just as you control your beloved, you control your children. You don't control your children for the sake of controlling. You control your children for their benefit. Because if they are not controlled, then there are chances that they may harm themselves or they may harm others. That is why control is important. But the control is loving control. It is not the control like that of the police, like that in the prison house. No, this control is different. The control of Maya is like the control of the crime department or the control of the police, the jailer on the prisoner in the prison house. That is the control of Maya. But control of Krishna is like parents controlling children. That happens with love for the benefit of the children. So Krishna, when he controls us, it is for our benefit. If we are on the path of surrendering unto Krishna and Krishna is controlling us, that means that control is out of love, not out of duty. Bob, is it preset when we are born, the time that we will die? Prabhupada, what? Bob, is the time that I am going to die and others are going to die preset before we are born? When I am born, do I have a certain given lifespan? Prabhupada, yes. A devotee, a devotee. And he cannot change that? Srila Prabhupada, no, he cannot change it. But Krishna can change it. Devotee. If he commits suicide, is that also preset? Srila Prabhupada, not preset. That you cannot do because you have a little independence. That you can do, so Prabhupada is referring to suicide, that you can do because you have a little independence. It is not natural to commit suicide. It is unnatural. So, prisoner, so because we have independence, we can go from nature to unnature. A prisoner cannot go out of the prison house naturally, but somehow or other he arranges to jump over the wall and goes away. Then he becomes a criminal for further imprisonment. Naturally, the prisoner cannot go out of the prison house. But if somehow or other he manages to escape, that means he becomes again a criminal. He will be arrested again and his term of imprisonment will be increased or he will be punished more. So, naturally, we cannot violate destiny. But if we do it, then we will suffer. But our destiny can be changed by Krishna when we are Krishna conscious. We do not do it, but Krishna will do it. Krishna says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami. I shall give you protection. That change takes place for my protection. There are two stages, non-devotee and devotee. The devotee is under the control of material, the non-devotee is under the control of material nature, and the devotee is under the direct control of Krishna. In the office of a big man, an executive of a big company, there are many employees and they are controlled by different departmental superintendents. But although outside of home he controls indirectly, the same man at home is controlling his children directly, but he is always a controller. Similarly, God is the controller always. When one becomes a devotee, he is controlled by God. When he is a non-devotee, he is controlled by his agent, Maya. But he has to be controlled. For example, every citizen of America is controlled by the government. When he is all right, when he is all right, the civil department controls him. When he is not all right, the criminal department controls him. But he cannot say, I am not controlled. That is not possible. Everyone is controlled. If somebody says, I am not controlled, he is not sane. He is fool. He is crazy. Everyone is controlled. So either you are controlled directly by God or you are controlled by his agency called Maya. Being controlled by Maya, you spoil your life. You remain in material existence, one birth after another, changing your bodies. So if you are under the control of Maya, what happens is you spoil your life. You will remain in this material world life after life. You will never get liberation if you are controlled by Maya. Right? And who can control you? It's the Jiva who can decide. That choice is there. Who can control me? Whether the controlling ropes of my life should be in the hands of Krishna or should be in the hands of Maya. That is my choice. Right? Many times, in spite of knowing so many things in Krishna consciousness, we fail miserably to follow those instructions, which are not a big austerity. Srila Prabhupada never said to us, instructed us or ordered us to go to Himalayas and stand on one leg and do some tapasya. No. Srila Prabhupada never told us stand in the hot sun. He never told us get up early and take cold water bath. Of course, if you do that, it is very good. But all those instructions are very simple instructions. If we can really follow them, we are under the control of Krishna. We choose to be under the control of Krishna if we follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. But on the other hand, if we choose not to follow those instructions, then we are giving ourselves in the hands of Maya. And later you cannot say, why I am suffering like this, why Krishna is not protecting, because you have not given yourself in the hands of Krishna. Right? Just like if the children are, if they are subordinate, if they remain subordinate, humble in front of their parents, parents will take care of them very nicely. If they are stubborn, if they don't listen to their parents and always rebel and go away, which parents will try, or which parents will get that mind or that affection to manage or control those children who are rebellious? So similarly, when you don't give yourself in the hands of Krishna to be controlled by Krishna, then Krishna says, how can you expect me to solve your problems? How can you expect me to protect you? Because you have given yourself in the hands of Maya, which is my external energy. Right? So as you sow, so shall you reap. You come under my protection, I'll give you 100% protection. You go under the protection of Maya, of course, that is not protection. You go under the control of Maya, you will suffer. So the distinction is very clear. Right? Either you can become Krishna Das or you can become Maya Das. Krishna Das is Sada Bindas, Maya Das is Sada Udas. Krishna Das is always happy, serving, chanting, dancing, eating prasadam, enjoying his life in devotional service. Maya Das is always Udas, going only behind money, car, woman. Is always Udas. Because all these things never bring happiness. All these things never get any kind of peace in your life. They will always bring you miseries. Because that is not our constitutional position, to be under the control of Maya. To go behind worldly pleasure is not our constitutional position. Our constitutional position is to remain as a loving child of Krishna. That is our constitutional position. When you be like that, completely surrendered to the will of Krishna, right? Surrender to Krishna means, recently I was discussing with someone, surrendering to Krishna doesn't mean I go to temple, I raise my hands, oh Krishna, I am yours. Yeah, that is good, but it should come in action. Surrendering to Krishna means surrendering to the will of Krishna. When someone says, I am a devotee of Krishna, I'm a surrendered devotee of Krishna. That means he accepts whatever Krishna does with that devotee. If something bitter happens in life, he never asks, I'm a great devotee of Krishna, why this bad thing is happening to me? No, because he is surrendered. Surrendered means he surrendered to the will of Krishna. Whatever Krishna desires, whatever Krishna wants to happen in my life, that will happen, and I will accept that as mercy of Krishna, as will of Krishna. I will not rebel. Why Krishna like this? There was a famous sportsman who was a gold medalist in Olympics, and he had so many of his fans worldwide. And then suddenly he got a disease, and because of that disease, the disease was a fatal disease, because of which he would die within few months. That was his situation. And when the world came to know that such a person is going to die, one of his fans, a woman, she wrote a letter to this sportsman that there are so many people in this world, because fans are, they are like very rigid. They love their hero. At any point of time, they want them to perform well, they want them to live on, right? So this girl, she wrote that why God chose you for this such a uncertain death. Why God chose you? She was very disappointed with the news that he's going to die in few days. Then that sportsman, he was a believer of God. He wrote in written, there are lakhs and lakhs. He was actually a table tennis world champion. There are lakhs and lakhs who have desire to play tennis, but out of all those who have the desire, hardly some of them they get a chance to play tennis in their local competitions. And out of thousands of them, few hundreds of them will get an opportunity to play at state level. And out of such hundreds, only tens, he says some 50 of them will get opportunity to play at national level. And out of 50, hardly finger count numbers will get opportunity to play at international level in such a big platform as Olympics. And I was the one among the lakhs who desired to play tennis. I was the one who lifted the champions trophy, the world champions trophy. And when I lifted that trophy, I did not ask God, why me? Then when I am in such a situation, and when God has given me such a situation that he has chosen me to die within few days, why should I ask God, why me? Right? So this is the example of surrender to the will of God, will of Krishna. Being controlled by Maya, you spoil your life, you remain in material existence, one birth after another, changing your bodies. But if you choose to be controlled by God, then after this body, you go back home, back to Godhead. Then your life is successful. You cannot exist without being controlled. So very clear difference. If you choose Maya, you'll remain here birth after birth, going behind money, bungalow, car, house, beauty, and all that stuff stuff which is temporary. And if you surrender to the will of Krishna, if you put yourself under the control of Krishna, this life will be your last life. After giving up this body, you are no more going to come back to this material world to again accept another body, to again go behind some material possessions. That is intelligence. And that is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. Vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. That Mahatma is very rare. Bahunam janmanam ante, after many, many lifetimes. Jnanavan, those who are in proper knowledge, those who are in knowledge of the truth of life, the absolute truth of life, they surrender to Krishna. They understand that Krishna, Vasudeva, is everything. After many, many births of traveling or speculation, one surrenders unto me, Vasudeva sarvamiti. Krishna, you are everything, so I have come. Accept me. I am now fully surrendered unto you and you control me. I am controlled. So for so long, I have been controlled by these rascals. There is no benefit. I have been controlled by my senses. So under the control of the senses, I have served so-called family, society, country, nation, up to serving the dogs. But nothing has given me satisfaction. Therefore, now I have good sense. I put myself under the control, under your control. Instead of being controlled by dog, let me be controlled by God. This is Krishna consciousness. Have you not seen how a man is controlled by a dog? In the street, the dog stops, passes stool, and his master will stand and wait. Is it not? He is passing stool and urine, and the master is thinking, I am the master. He is my dog. But he is serving the dog. Dog is passing stool, and the master is waiting beside the dog. Just imagine what kind of master he is. Who is master and who is servant? Actually, the dog is master and the so-called master is dog's servant. Right? So, as Prabhupada says, that one should plead in front of Krishna that so long I have served Maya, please accept me now. I put myself under your control. There's a beautiful song written by bhajans written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It's a very good opportunity today, because today being his disappearance day, let us remember one of his beautiful bhajan. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Bhuliya tomare samsare asiya, pe nana vidha vyatha. Bhuliya tomare. Krishna, forgetting you, I came to this world, came to this material world. Bhuliya tomare samsare asiya, pe nana vidha vyatha. Nana vidha means different kinds of suffering I am undergoing. Bhuliya tomare samsare asiya, pe nana vidha vyatha. Tomara charane. Forgetting you, I have suffered, I am suffering different kinds of miseries in this world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying. Tomara charane asiya cheyami bolibo dukher katha. Now I have come at your lotus feet. Asiya cheyami. I have come at your lotus feet. Tomara charane bolibo dukher katha. And I am presenting in front of you my story of miseries. Dukher katha. Janani. Now he says, how from the journey which starts from within the womb of the mother till the old age, how a jiva passes his life. Janani jathare chilama jakhona vishama bandhana pashe. Janani jathare, in the wombs of mother, chilama jakhona, tightly bound inside the womb of mother, vishama bandhana pashe, bound by the womb of mother, एक बार प्रभु देखा दिया मोरे, वांछिले ये दीन दासा. When I was tightly bound in the shackles of the womb of my mother, you gave darshan, O Krishna. एक बार प्रभु देखा दिया मोरे. Once you gave me your darshan, and vanchile ye dina dasa, then you have forsaken me. You left me alone and went. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Takho na bhavinu janam paiya koribo bhajan tava. Then the jiva inside the womb of the mother, it prays to Krishna because it had a glimpse of Krishna for a moment. It prays to Krishna. Takhona bhavinu janama paiya koribo bhajana tava. As soon as I come out of my mother's womb, as soon as I take birth, koribo bhajana tava, I will start worshipping you. But janam hoilo odi maya jale, na hoilo jnana lava. Janama hoilo, I took birth. Odi maya jale. As I took birth and I fell in the control of Maya. Today we are reading about control of Maya and control of. Within the womb, I promised Krishna that as soon as I come out of my mother's womb, I will become your devotee, I will worship you. But as soon as I took birth, I fell under the control of Maya. Na hoilo jnana lava. I did not get even a glimpse of the knowledge that I am your eternal servant. I should serve you. Adhare rachele, swajane rakole, hasiya katanu kala. Adhare rachele, swajane rakole. Kole means the lap of the relatives, right? Fondled, being pampered by all the relatives, because a child, a small baby, is always pampered, is always fondled with. So, being fondled in the loving laps of my relatives, hasiya katanu kala, laughing, smiling, I passed my time. Janaka janani snehete bhuliya samsara lagilo bhalo. Janaka janani, father and mother. Janaka is father, Janani is mother. They showed me so much affection. My mother and father, they showed me so much affection that this world appeared to be so beautiful. Samsara lagilo bhalo. I started thinking that this world is so nice. My parents, the parents are loving me so much. Rame dina dina balaka hoiya Helinu balaka saha. As the time passed, I grew up and I started going out of house. I started walking, I started running, and I started playing with my friends. Ara kichu dine jnana upajilo patha podi ahar ahaha. And as I grew up playing with my friends, the material knowledge, the urge to gain material knowledge, that grew in my heart. And Patha Podi, Ahar Ahar. Day after day, I started reading the academic books. I started passing 1 year after year in my schools. Vidyara Gaurave, Brahmi Deshe Deshe, Dhana Uparjana Kori. On the pride of that knowledge, I completed my high school, primary school, high school, pre-university, university, degree, post-graduation, everything I finished. I am a graduate, a master's degree holder. And with that pride, Brahmi Deshe Deshe, I went around the country looking for a job and earning money. For what? Dhana uparjana kari, swajana palana, kori kamana, bhulinu tomare hari. Just to maintain my family, swajana palana. Maintaining my family, giving happiness to my family, making that as my only goal. Bhulinu tomare. In the course of doing all this, I completely forgot my Lord Hari. Vardhakhe khona bhakti vinoda kadiya katarati. Now in this old age, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all these great acharyas, they are the pure devotees who descends on this ground directly from the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavana, on the order of Lord Krishna. After coming here, just to teach us, they act like a common man. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, just like a common man, he writes, Vardhakhe khona bhakti vinoda. Now in this old age, Bhakti vinoda, Gandhiya katara ati. I'm crying very badly in this old age. Na bhajiya tore, dina vritha gelo, ekhona ki habe gati. Na bhajiya tore, without worshipping you, O Krishna, dina vritha gelo. I passed my entire life, I wasted my entire life. Every devotee who failed to worship Krishna during his proper lifetime will definitely 100% lament at the end, towards the end of the life, when one grows old, that I simply wasted my life going behind material possessions, because these material possessions, these material relationships never gave me any peace of mind, never gave me any happiness. That is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur, taking the position of an ordinary man, he says, Kadiya katarati. I am weeping and weeping. Na bhajiya tore, without worshipping you, I wasted my life. Ekhona ki habe gati. What will be my destiny now? What will be my fate now? Right? So such wonderful acharyas we have, such wonderful teachings we have. It's only to choose Krishna over Maya. It's a choice. And after knowing all this, we have this choice, whether to choose Krishna or still to choose Maya, whether to choose devotional service or to choose material possessions, to choose love or to choose miseries, to choose peace or to choose unhappiness, disturbance. So, if you choose Krishna, you are Bindas. Bindas means no worries. You can easily see. It's not that a devotee says, yeah, Krishnadas Sada Bindas. No, there is a very strong footing, very strong ground on which this statement stands. Right? Krishnadas Sada Bindas. Yes, because Krishnadas is not bothered about the worldly affairs, not bothered about the worldly possessions. Right? He knows that he came to this world empty-handed and he will die empty-handed. He's not going to take his car, he's not going to take his bungalow, he's not going to take his bank balance along with him. Still people think, no, life is long. I should do something. I should do something for my old age. Who knows that I will live till my old age? Who knows? That is why all these acharyas give us a warning that take up Krishna consciousness seriously, so that when you grow old, you will not cry like the ordinary people who waste their life simply in material enjoyment, possessing material wealth. So, we'll continue with the next part, the next session. Thank you all for joining this session. Vishwaguru Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.